My name is Angela Gallo, and I'm the founder and CEO of Hemisphere Dancer Wellness and Travel. Part of our offerings are Pilates-based training, and in this series of videos, I will be talking you through some of the principles of the Pilates work, and then leading you through some of the basic mat exercises. The Pilates work focuses primarily on core stability. When talking about the core in the Pilates work, they're referencing the core box, which is from the shoulders down to the hips, and finding stability and strength in this area. And then working with that stability to increase mobility in the limbs and freedom in the joints. Proper alignment is really important to the Pilates work. So I'm going to begin with explaining pelvis and rib cage alignment. Much of the Pilates work is done laying on your back with your knees bent, with your feet about hip width apart. One of the first principles we'll talk about is breath. And so just spending the next moment or two focusing on your breathing. Notice where the breath is falling in the torso. Try not to apply any judgment. There's no good or bad about where the breath is, just noticing. And then I'd like you to go ahead and bring your hands to the sides of your rib cage. And I'd like you to try and send your next few breaths to this area. So it's important to remember as we're breathing that our torso is a three-dimensional. It's important to remember that our torso is three-dimensional. And a lot of times we focus on breathing up and down, the belly rising with our inhale and falling with our exhale. But our lungs are filling our whole torso, not just the front space. And so by focusing our breath into this side and back space, when we start to do work that really engages our abdominals, we're able to still breathe fully. This is called posterior lateral breath. Taking one or two more breaths, thinking about this focus. And then we're going to begin with some simple mobilization of the pelvis. So we're going to start by imagining that our lower abdomen is like a clock, and we're going to just roll an imaginary marble towards our belly button and allow the pelvis to tilt and press the low back into the ground as that marble rolls more towards our belly button. Then we're going to go ahead and arch the back, allowing the marble to roll past the belly button down towards our pubic bone. And just tilting the pelvis in this way a few times helps to mobilize the back, mobilize the hip joints so that we have greater ease and movement available to us in our hip joints. And just continue to exhale as you imprint or press the low back down into the mat, and then inhale as you arch the back in the other direction. We're then going to take this movement into a clock, rolling around to your left hip point, or a 3 o'clock of the clock, and then down to a 6 o'clock towards our pubic bone, to our right hip, our 9 o'clock, and then rolling back to our 12 o'clock. And so this is more of a micro movement, and it's just getting, again, mobilization in the hip joints. And we're going to go ahead and reverse that circle, exhaling as we begin the circle, inhaling as we move the marble down towards the pubic bone and back around. And circling again. And then we're going to settle and try and find what is considered our neutral pelvis. And that is where that imaginary marble isn't rolling up towards the belly button, but it's also not rolling down towards the pubic bone. It's settling right in the middle. This is also a place where our hip flexors relax and find a little more ease, and it helps us engage our deeper abdominal muscles. From here, we're going to go into some bridging. We're going to inhale here, and we're going to roll that marble again towards our sternum or towards our belly button, and then keep rolling up where our hips start to lift up off the mat. And then we're going to lift the pelvis. We're trying to get a nice long line from our knees down towards our armpits. Inhaling here at the top, and then we exhale, starting in the sternum, lowering back down, and the hips arrive last. And finding that neutral balanced pelvis again at the bottom. Inhaling here, we exhale to roll up through the spine. Finding lots of length across the front of the hip points, inhaling at the top, and then exhaling to roll back down. Again, we'll inhale here, exhale, rolling up through the spine. Inhaling at the top, exhaling to lower back down, trying again on the way down to go through each of our vertebrae, finding more movement in our vertebral column. From here, we're going to go into a one-legged version. We're going to take one leg to what I'll call tabletop, where our leg's at 90-degree angle. So my right leg's in tabletop, my left leg is still on the ground. I'm going to inhale here, I'm going to exhale, press and lift. Inhale, and then lowering back down. This time I'm trying to keep my spine lengthened as I press and lift up, and lowering, exhaling back down. Inhale, exhale, lift up. Watching that weight is on the whole foot. Inhale, exhale, lowering down. One more on this side. Inhale, exhale to lift. Inhale, and exhale to lower. And let's change to the other leg. Whole weight on the whole foot on that right foot. Left leg comes to our tabletop. We inhale, exhale, press to lift. Inhale, exhale to lower down. Inhale, exhale to lift. Inhale, exhale to lower. So one of the things to remember about the Pilates work, it's important to go a little bit slower and more controlled. Inhaling at the top, exhaling as we lower down. This helps us create longer lengthened muscles. Inhale, exhaling to lift. And exhaling to lower. One last time on this side. Inhale, exhale to lift. Inhale, exhale to lower. Go ahead and bring both knees into the chest, taking a little rock side to side. Still working on our neutral pelvis, building some strength in the core. This time we're going to bring both of our legs to tabletop. We're going to take an exercise called knee folds, where we inhale here to get ready. We're going to exhale and reach one leg out so it taps. Inhale, come back to the middle. Exhale, reach out with the toe. Inhale, back to the middle. I want to keep my core really strong, thinking of pulling my lower abdominals in as I exhale. Inhale, coming back to center. If I'm starting to feel this in my hip flexors, I've known I've done enough. We don't want to do more than about 8 on each side, but that would be where we're working towards in the beginning. Exhaling down, inhaling up. We might do less than that. Exhaling down, inhaling up. Exhaling down, inhaling up, and resting the legs. Other things to consider on that one, we want to watch that we're not straightening the leg. We also want to watch that we're not just tapping down right under us, as that's going to not give the abdominal muscles enough of a load to feel engagement. The second part of this exercise now, we're going to work on our rib cage alignment. And so one thing we want to be thinking about is that we're feeling a connection of our ribs to the mat behind us. Our arms are going to come up towards the ceiling. From here, we're going to go ahead and exhale, reaching one arm back just to about our ears, inhaling center. Other side, exhaling back, inhaling to center. What I'm looking for is that I'm not distending in the ribs, so I'm not letting anything in the core move as those arms move. Good, and now that we have felt that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring the legs back, and we're going to work both sides now together. This is a little tricky coordination, and it also reminds us that the Pilates work is a mind-body practice, and so that this is part that's going to be good for helping prevent dementia. We're looking at our right arm and our left leg. They are going to reach out and away, and I want to try not to move my left arm or my right leg at all. Inhale to center. Reach the other side out. Left arm, right leg. Inhale to center. Right arm, left leg. Inhale to center. Left arm, right leg. Inhale to center. Want to watch that I'm not moving both sides together. So really important. Right side, left leg again. And left arm, right leg again. One more on each side. And then you're going to go ahead and hug the knees into the chest, taking a little rock